Hey, Joe here, Florida Conceal Carry, on my way to work and trying to answer your questions. The question we have today is from people to get their licenses, um, either transfer them from another state, meaning they take their training certificates, present them to the state of Florida, and based on that certificate, they issue a concealed weapons license in the state of Florida, as well as our folks that are prior military that take their DT 214, present that to the state, and that satisfies the requirements to get your concealed weapons license in the state of Florida. Now, the question I'm getting is people are saying, hey, that's how I got my license. I never had to take a class on the law, so I don't know these things. Or how does this apply to me? Well, it does apply to you. When you got that license, you signed off on the form at the bottom. So you're pretty much stating that you know laws, you know where and when you can carry, when you can actually use justifiable use of force to defend yourself or another person. Um, that's a big thing, folks. That's a huge responsibility. Your actions might take another person's life. Your actions might save a life. Hopefully they will. But you need to know when you can and cannot make those actions, use the justifiable use of force. So I am always an advocate of taking, oh, I'm driving here, all kinds of traffic coming up here, of course. Um, you got to take a class. Take a class on the laws. If it's just on the laws, take it. Most of the time, you're going to have to take the whole class anyway. It's not just going to be on laws. It's worth it. I've taken tons of classes in my life. I thought I knew everything, and I didn't. It's worth taking the classes. Now, with that being said, when you take a class, make sure you're taking the right class. Make sure you vet your instructors. What do I mean by that? Make sure they are who they say they are, and make sure they are qualified to do it. Just because they have a certificate that they can do the classes and all that does not mean that they are up on the laws. I would always recommend looking for a class that's taught by an active or retired law enforcement officer, because again, they enforce laws. They're going to know when you can use justifiable use of force to defend yourself or another person. Also, look for classes that are taught by attorneys. I met some attorneys that are great instructors. They're going to know the laws, the inside and out, and be able to explain them to you. The big thing when you're taking these classes with instructors, law enforcement attorneys and stuff like that, you can ask questions. Just because you bought a book that you found online that you think is teaching you all the laws that could be out of date, might be up to date, who knows, but you can't ask the book a question. When you just read the statutes, they're very boring. If you ever sat there and read the Florida statutes, it's like reading a phone book. You fall asleep after the second page. But you can't ask that book questions. And that's the big things, a lot of the what ifs and how's this work and what's this definition mean. A lot of people get hung up on one word. Well, it said this. Yeah, but it really doesn't mean that, because this word technically means this. So listen, long story short, folks, if you get your license that way, that's great. If you got to transfer them from another state, whatever it's going to be, I encourage you to take a class and learn the laws. It's worth your money. It's worth your time. On the other note, us folks out there with the DD214s, I am sure keep watching our page, because I'm sure there's going to be some free classes for you folks on the laws in the state of Florida pertaining to carrying a concealed weapon. So again, if you like these videos, please like them, share them with your friends, subscribe to our page. If you have any questions, let us know. Put it in the comments below, PM us, whatever, email, whatever it's going to be. We'll do our best to answer them. Folks, have a great day.